Hi, my name is Ka. If you like the artwork that I make in this video, I also have commissions available. I do custom characters, OCs, and more. When you commission me, you're not only helping me, but you're also helping out my son, Anino. If you do choose to commission me, you'll be helping us find a better place to live. The link to my commissions form and guidelines are in the description. Now let's get into the video. Do you feel like your art looks like everybody else's? Or do you feel like you don't have a distinct style? Well, today I'm going to help you find that. These are a few things that you should keep in mind when you're trying to create and find your own art style. So the first thing you typically want to do when you're finding out your style is look at the past creations that you have made and look to see if there's anything in common with each of the pieces that you have created. Even let's say if you're copying an image or you're drawing an image that already exists, like a cartoon character you see on TV, maybe a comic book character or anything like that, what is something that you have in common with all the drawings that you've done in the past? Once you figure that out, then ask yourself, what parts do I enjoy when I create all of these characters? So for example, when I draw my characters, all of them typically have lips, specifically full lips, because I like the look of full lips on my characters. Or maybe it can be like line work. Maybe you enjoy thin or thick. Are all of them thin? Are all of them thick? Are they a mix in between? Personally, for me, I like a mix in between because it gives line depth as well as diversity. But it doesn't have to be just features or the line work. It could also be color palettes. It could also be statures. It could also be like individual styles. Like, is it more Spider-Verse-y? Is it more cutesy? Is it more realistic? Like, keep those things in mind when you're looking through all of your drawings and creations that you've made. And also keep in mind the artists that inspire you. Like, do you feel you take away some of their key elements in their drawings and implement it into yours? Or is there something you like in other artists that maybe you haven't done yet? I would look into that as well. Like, for example, I like Loish, and I really enjoy the way that her drawings flow, and I like the colors. And even though my art is not similar to hers in any shape or form, I'd like to think that sometimes I would try to pull certain colors that she would use for my own creations. So that is step one. For step two, you got to think about the pieces that you have made again, but this time think about the process of that creation. Think about how you start your piece. What is your progress like? How do you work? And what specific things are easy and difficult to render or make when you're creating? So I'm going to give an example. For me, the easiest part of drawing my characters, I would say, would probably be doing all the facial features. And when I think about the facial features, I also think which facial features are easy for me to draw. So I'm going back to my first example. I enjoy drawing lips. That's what I enjoy. But it's also really easy for me to draw lips because it's the fastest thing I can get on the page or the file that I'm on. So keeping that in mind, something that I enjoy and something that is easy for me to make, I'm going to incorporate it into my final style choices. Same thing for the line variation that I mentioned as well. I like thick and thin because I like the variety. And so I enjoy it and it's easy for me to do because I don't know, for me, I'm gonna be honest, having even line art throughout a piece is very difficult for me. Even, yes, if I have set the pen on my digital software to the same like font or point, for some reason, like if I draw over it, like I most likely will, it will never become even and I will have to erase. And to me, that's just more work and just tedious for me. So before I go on a tangent, yes, I would also incorporate the line work variation into my finalized style choices. Other examples that I have not done but that are also just available to choose from or do is maybe the way that you render hair. Do you enjoy doing realistic hair or cartoony hair? Do you prefer cell shading or smooth shading? And if you do enjoy it, now think to yourself, is this easy or difficult for me to do? If you enjoy it but it's difficult, that's fine. You can still choose to do that. If it's easy but not as fun, you don't have to do that as well. If it's easy and you enjoy doing it, I highly recommend that you choose that option in your style because it's really going to show out when you're doing something that you enjoy altogether. An example of things that I have done that are easy for me to make, but not necessarily as enjoyable as the characters I have in my speed paints, are my chibi characters that I make for commission work. Yes, they're adorable. And yes, I do enjoy making them to a degree. However, I enjoy making my original characters that you see on the screen a lot more than the chibis. But I still do chibis not just because of commission work, but it's also easier for me to do so that I can get it closer to a deadline for any potential clients that may want one. And since it's easier for me to create, I can create more of it in a shorter amount of time. And I feel more accomplished personally when I have completed a piece in a short amount of time. So those are some things to just also consider. Would you rather it be easy and not something you enjoy? Would you rather do something difficult but you enjoy it? Or do you want to do something that's both easy and something that you enjoy? You have those options whenever you are choosing a specific style to stick with. And my last step is just putting it all together, thinking about what you enjoy making and putting into your pieces. Think about what's easy or difficult for you when creating those pieces and how are you going to mix it all together. Same thing applies to anything that you are inspired by, like certain things artists do that you want to incorporate into your work. Is it easy? Would you enjoy it? Think about that and how would it fit into your own pieces. Using myself as an example, when I first started art and I didn't have my specific style yet, I would practice making things are like again chibi or anime related, but I also did realism and realistic type works. So I met in the middle for myself to do semi-realism slash cartoony. And to a degree, I would think I have more of like a comic book or edgy like style. You can leave a comment down below if you agree, disagree, or if you have other thoughts. I would love to hear them. But for me, when I'm creating like this character, Seth, his eyes are not exactly realistic. They could be more cartoony or anime-esque. But with the details I put into like his face and his hair, I feel like that's a little bit more realistic versus something very flat and very non-dimensional. I don't know how to word it, but I feel like there's a little bit more depth to the features in his face than say like an anime or something. And those are basically my tips. You can also mix and match some of the things I said, like maybe it's not the line art that you're focusing on. Maybe again, it's the color palette, or maybe even textures, adding a specific texture that you like. Like for a while, I had that pen slash pencil texture in a lot of my drawings because before just straight drawing on a new layer in the digital software that I used to scan in or take a picture of my pen sketches and try to digitally render them from there. When I did that, I would still have like that pen texture on the paper that I was using. So stuff like that could also be incorporated. Just keep things in mind, do a lot of research on things that inspire you, things you like in other drawings and creations, add them to your own work and see how you like it. Just a reminder, this is your style. This is your way of doing things. This is your way of creating whatever you want to create. It's art. You're free to create whatever. So long as you're creating ethically. I'm going to get into another video, or I'm going to talk about this in another video. I don't really mess with AI. I'm just going to say that right now. I do not mess with AI. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, again, those are just my tips. Practice those things over and over and over again, and soon enough, you'll have a more polished style look or way that you create things that's a little bit more you than, say, someone else's creation. If you thought this was helpful or if you took away anything from this video, please comment down below. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.